The geological timescale, the calendar of geological time. What is geology? Geology is the study of rocks. That means we are going to study the rocks in a way to study the Earth's history. What is Earth's history? According to human life, we study the history of human, or we study in the terms of millenniums. Millennium is 1000 years, century is 100 years, and decade is 10 years, years, months, days, and further time. In the way of history of Earth, we study in the form of eras, eons, eras, periods, epochs, stages and substages. So here we are trying to study about evolution of Earth right from its birth to till date. What are the formations it has taken place in the process of today's Earth, that is both physical characteristic and also biological characteristics of Earth which has evolved over a period of time. In this way, the geological time is nothing but brief history of Earth's origin. We know Earth's origin, life as origin from single cell to today's human being. This is dates around 600 million years ago. But now we are talking about age of Earth, which is 4,500 million years ago. In this process, the Earth has gone through the gaseous form to the solid sphere. A solid sphere which has attracted the smaller particles and became a huge Earth. So the smaller planets were attracted towards the huge nucleus, and over a period of time, as they have cooled down, they have become a larger planet, and that is what Earth we say now. So in the process of this evolution, Earth has taken nearly 4,500 million years in its origin. So over a period of time, Earth is not at a time formed as it is now, but it has taken some sections of periods, like 4,500 million years ago, the Earth has taken its shape. But crust of the Earth which has taken for 3,500 million years, whereas the submerged mantle has evolved around 3,000 million years. And coming to the core, it has taken place only just 2,500 million years ago. So this is the formation of physical character of the Earth as it is. So how do we know this formation over a period of time? We try to study rocks as geology we say, and these rocks are studied chemically and physically. Both rocks and fossils of that period give us the date of that particular rock which has formed, and actually this is what gives us idea about formation of Earth or the planets which are revolving around the sun. So over here, the rocks are studied based on the radioactive dating, which is a scientific study to study the physical and chemical characteristics of both rock and the fossils. So here we can say that whatever the changes have took place till now, they have been both on the physical terms and also biological terms, whichever was submerged under the rocks at different periods. Based on the decaying of fossils and rocks, we try to date the age of the rock. So in this way, we are trying to build the history of the Earth based on the geological time scale. As we see, the initial Earth was in a gaseous format. As it has cooled and let out its temperature, it started solidifying and prepared primary rocks. These primary rocks were formed, and over a period of time, as the water evolved, the water has degraded the rocks, and these rocks were transformed into metamorphic or sedimentary rocks. And over a period of time, as the water was oxygen and water was added to the environment, the next level of life has started beginning. So it was the marine single cellular animals which have started, and over a period of time these single cellular animals have evolved into a big gigantic animals over a period of time. And at the same time, the temperatural changes have transformed the animal life from single cell to the large dinosaurs and killed them over a period of time with the help of snow or ice age. and then again the next level of warming of temperatures resulted into next stage of animal evolution. That means whatever was evolving, it has changed itself according to the temperatural changes or the atmospheric changes which were taking place throughout the history of the earth, and this is the present stage where we see human and 80% of the previous human and plant and animals which were there in the 2000 billion years ago. So, measuring the time scale, this time scale as we have discussed earlier, it is not based on 100 years or 1000 years. We do not have a landmark exactly. These are the periods when they have evolved. That means it is a dynamic period which have taken dynamic periods of evolution. That means 4500 million years ago it was the Hadean period where the earth was evolving as chemical or the physical element, and after 3500 years earth has cooled down and taken its present state of crust. So that is what the Archean or the rock formation. The next level was the 2500 million years ago when actual life has started as a single cell, that is nothing but the Proterozoic period, and then you have the Phanerozoic period, and these Phanerozoic period are further divided into Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic period, and at the end of the Cenozoic period we see the life of the human. So that is what we were trying to say, that the time scale is not exactly divided, it is divided according to the disastrous ending of some characteristics of life and then evolution of another. So these were the boundaries of evolution or disasters of breaking of life or the evolution of earth's crust. So we do not have a exact division, it is the geological time scale which will make a boundary from one stage to another stage of evolution. Geological time scale is divided using significant events. They stand as the boundaries, like mass extinction of 80% of life in Hadean period and the evolution of Jurassics in the Triassic period. Geological time scale is explained by eons, eras, periods and epochs. Eons are the largest scale of time, whereas eras are the smaller scale of time subdividing the eons. Eras are subdivided further into periods. Periods are subdivided into smaller scale of epochs. Geological time scale can be constructed as we can see a linear scale. To the left we can have the time period, and as the time period goes on near to the recent, we have the time period divided into Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic and Phanerozoic. The Phanerozoic is the recent period which is divided into Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. The larger the stage of the period, the longer the scale we have. Geological time scale can be characterized or can given some characteristics as the climatic changes can be observed based on the radioactive conditions. So first we have the Precambrian period, which is 560 million years ago. This here we can see the glacial climatic conditions or snowball condition of the earth. The next was the Paleozoic period, which is divided into periods, that is Cambrian period, Ordovician period, Silurian period, Donovitian period, Carboniferous period and Permian period. In this period we can see the early life existence in your marine, and this has evolved over a period of time into plants, animals and four-limbed vertebrates, and they have started crossing the one place to another. We can also see there was a rift in the total Pangea. Next comes the Mesozoic. Mesozoic is further divided into Triassic, Jurassic and Cretaceous. Triassic is the initial stage of Jurassic period. Jurassic is the period where dinosaurs have evolved and taken a larger number of features. And then the Cretaceous is a period where the dinosaurs have extincted and mammals, flowering plants have taken their inception. They have evolved and they have multiplied themselves because larger animals got extincted and they got a spot to evolve themselves. Cretaceous period is also known for formation of Deccan lava plateau. Here, the Cenozoic period is further divided into tertiary period. Tertiary period is divided into epochs. They are Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and Paleocene. This was a period when Himalayas got uplifted. Quaternary period is one of the period of Cenozoic which see the recent time period of human, and also we can see past glacial temperatures. In detail, if we want to study about this brief history of Earth, then it is the Archeozoic period. Archeozoic period is the initial period, dates back to 4,500 million years ago, when the gaseous material started consolidating and became Earth as a mass. Over a period of time, this consolidation of material started layering up itself into crust, mantle and core. Core had the elements of magnesium and iron. Your mantle was composed of silicates and crust was composed of rocks. So, in this way, the layering of the Earth's interior has taken place based on the density of the material. So, this density of material started attracting the superficial material which was flowing into the space, and that got attracted towards Earth and added to the mass of the Earth's surface. This mass has evolved itself and consolidated to form present day Earth. So, this was the Hadean period. This name was given by J.D. Danow in 1872. This is basically rock formation stage wherein metamorphic shields of Brazil, China, Canada, North America, South America, Africa, India and Antarctica were formed. So, this was the next stage is Proterozoic era, wherein this material got submerged into this Earth surface, and over a period of time, whatever crust was trying to shield itself, the molten lava tried to come out of the crust. This molten lava blasted into in the form of volcanoes, and volcanoes started leaving out so many chemicals out of the surface of the Earth. In this way, lot of oxygen, lot of carbon dioxide came out of the volcanic eruptions and they formed the clouds. The clouds over a period of time resulted into rains, and these rains, torrential rains, filled up all the depressions of the Earth crust. All the depressions filled up with the water became oceans, lakes, tanks, or sometimes when they were overflowed, they were resulted into streams and rivers. These streams and rivers, wherever they flowed, they tried to cut down the material, and this cut down material has transformed the surface of the Earth into new features of Earth's surface water erosion. So, whatever eroded material was there, that was deposited sometimes, and sometimes they were chemically reacted. So, there were new chemical composition of rocks were formed due to the action of water. So, over here we can also see the addition of water into atmosphere had both resulted into clouds and change in the atmospheric composition. At the same time, this has resulted into the new life form. Here we can see some of the landforms prepared by flow of the water or flow of the glaciers and movement of the wind. These are different environments created based on the climatic environments at that point of time. Paleozoic, this is a period where we have the early life, the weathering and denudation of pre-existing rock has started. At the same time, Paleozoic is divided into Cambrian. Cambrian has seen the unicellular and the multicellular organisms, and they have resulted into corals. These corals were found in Morocco and also in early Australia. So, these are the early life forms we can see in the Paleozoic Cambrian period. Ordovician is a period where we have all the Earth surface or crust onto the south of the pole, and north of the Earth was controlled by or covered by the oceans. So, we have one Pangaea and one Panthalassa as an ocean. Next comes to the Carboniferous period. This period divided into Upper Carboniferous period and Lower Carboniferous period. The Upper Carboniferous period is known as Pennsylvanian period and Lower Carboniferous period is known as Mississippian period. Both the periods have seen the initiation or formation of coal deposits. These coal deposits are because of warmer temperatures and colder temperatures were gone, and whatever flora and fauna were there, they were deposited under the rock sediments. Next comes the Permian period. This is the period of mammals. The earlier anthropoids were taken care by the mammals, reptiles and amphibians. Mammals, as we know, turtles, and our reptiles are snakes and lizards. Amphibians like frogs and etc. they have flourished. This has also resulted into the ocean and the penthalsa, which have given rise to lot of species revolving into the Pangea. After this stage, when Pangea got divided in Mesozoic period, the rift in the Pangea resulted into northern area as the Laurentia and southern part as the Gondwana land. Whatever animals which started flooring or which started moving on the land, they have started dividing themselves into Gondwana and Laurentian period. So now here we can understand which were moved out of one place to another. By seeing the fossils of that period fossils, we can say what is the dating of that particular life which was existed. So this is how maybe they were divided now, but they were one together at some time. So based on these rock chemical compositions and also fossils which were degrading themselves, by correlating from one place to another, we can say that they were one together, but now today they have moved away from one another. The Jurassic period is the extinction of dinosaurs, and this has also resulted into shift of Laurentia and Gondwana into many parts. This has resulted into increase in the Gulf or we can say increase in the coastline. The increased coastline has exposed the land to the sea water. This water exposure resulted into transformation of temperatures in the inland surfaces. So now arid temperatures, hot temperatures were replaced by the humid temperatures or cool temperatures, and they occurred the rainfall, which resulted into lush green forests. And we can also see the below that we have arid temperatures fossils, and above that we can see the lush green. That means initially it was a hot region, but now they have changed into coniferous forests, and later on they have demolished and they have become fossils or natural gases, what we can see, petroleum, diesel and natural gases, what we see under these rocks because of this change in climatic type. So next comes the Cretaceous period, which is a warmer period, and it has given a rise to lot of new species of mammals and birds, flowering plants and seed bearing plants. This has also given a rise to the Deccan traps, which we say Deccan lava plateau now. Cenozoic period is the most recent period. This is the age of mammals. After the extinction of larger animals, now the Cenozoic period has seen the evolution of mammals and plants. So they have evolved, they have enriched their characters and they have grown in number. Tertiary period is divided into epochs like Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene and Pliocene. Quaternary period is further divided into epochs of Pleistocene and Holocene. So Pleistocene and Holocene are the two periods where we have transformation of land surfaces into present day lands, and Holocene is a period where we see the ape of man's history to the human being or the Homo sapiens. The most important periods in the history of Earth, we can see that we have the Carboniferous period where the forests were degraded by or destroyed by the warm temperatures, and they were transformed into coal, and they were deposited under rocks and transformed into fossil fuels. The Permian period, which has seen the large or huge animals, their evolution and extinction. The next comes the Jurassic period, which has dominated nearly 200 million years, and then the Cretaceous period has seen the destruction of these gigantic animals, and Cretaceous period also witnessed the volcanic eruption of Deccan lava plateau. The Quaternary period has seen the new or initial, the recent human being transformation and the new evolution or 80 to 90% of evolved animal and plant species. The geological time scale is divided into various time periods. This is because the division of Earth can be clearly understood based on these divisions. That means the evolution of the Earth has taken its inception from gaseous material to the present day consolidated Earth mass. This has taken different steps to evolution. This evolution is not yet done at one single time. It has gone through many physical and chemical changes which has evolved the Earth to present state. So, to understand this basic understanding of the history of the Earth, we divide the Earth history into eons. Eons are the larger time scale which is dividing the Earth into major events. These events are further divided into smaller time periods. The eons are subdivided into smaller time periods, that is nothing but eras. These eras, sometimes eons are divided into 4 eras, sometimes they are divided into 2 eras based on the events or the boundaries carried on in that particular eon. These eras are further divided into periods. The era is smaller divisions are periods. These periods are also smaller divisions of the events which have occurred both in the physical and the biological and chemical composition of Earth and also life which has existed on the Earth at that particular period of time. The periods are further divided into epochs. The epochs are the subdivisions of period within the period, whatever the major events which are causing the boundaries between one epoch to another epoch coming together as a period. So, in this way, the geological time scale is nothing but the subdivisions of the geological history of the Earth, which is studying the different environmental conditions of the Earth over a period of time. The different environment, as we see, the Earth has taken its inception as a hot ball of gaseous material, then it has transformed to a cool body of rocks, and these rocks are covered on the surface of the Earth and they were consolidated at the core. The core, which is composed of Nephi and magnesium, is having the highest density, and this dense material started attracting the planetesimals which were revolving in the space freely. They were attracted with the help of gravity of the Earth, and this added the material to the crust of the Earth. Over a period of time, the gaseous material or the free particulates which were flowing in the space got attracted towards this gravity, and they have formed the atmosphere. Initially, atmosphere was composed of gaseous poisonous material which was releasing lot of nitrates and silicates. Over a period of time, as the volcanoes erupted, lot of H2O, carbon dioxide, oxygen and hydrogen were released into the atmosphere. This release of new gases into the atmosphere resulted into formation of H2O. The new addition of water into the atmosphere resulted into water and oxygen coming into atmosphere. So, the primary gaseous material or the atmosphere changed into the secondary gaseous material or atmosphere. At this time, of course, it was poisonous gases which was in the atmosphere, but at the same time new water and oxygen was added to the atmosphere. This volcanic action has took place vigorously, and more oxygen started adding up into the atmosphere. This is the stage where we have the third stage stage of atmosphere wherein we have the present state atmospheric composition of Earth, that is nothing but oxygen with 21% and nitrogen with 78% and other gases into the finer fractions. So, the present day atmospheric conditions were evolved over a period of time. This has resulted into encouragement of life and encouragement of lot of water into the atmosphere and also on the surface of the Earth. Wherever the water was added into the surface of the Earth, there evolved the marine life into the surface, and these marine life have started from the corals, sponge, mollusca to the hardcore animals. We can see hard-shelled animals were evolved in 50,000 million years ago, and this is what the starting of the larger animals like dinosaurs and human being over a period of time. So, this is the very end of the cycle where we can see human life which has evolved, and 70 to 80% of the life have evolved in the Mesozoic period, where we have seen more number of water bodies and more climatic changes, more addition of rainfall onto the surface of the Earth. Wherever we had the coastline increasing, the biological element had started evolving. As and when the biological element started evolving, it has given a rise to new evolution of plants and animals, and that has over a period of time transformed them into plant and animals as we see. Finally, at the end, we can say that geological time scale is divided into various events over a period of time wherein the Earth has faced both as a physical, chemical and biological element. So, over a period of time, Earth has also evolved. At the same time, human or the animal species, plant species also evolved. To date back this history, we take help of eons, eras, periods and epochs. So, this is what, with the help of radioactive dating, we try to study the rocks and fossils of the surface of the Earth, and we try to give the aging of the Earth. So, this is how the resources have evolved over a period of time. It can be the magnesium, it can be the iron, it can be the fossil fuels, or the forest reserves and water reserves we have now are the evolution of the Earth which has taken place, and they were buried under, and now we see them as pockets of resources in the Earth's surface.